everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I have a guest all the way out in Perth, Australia, working on an amazing NFT project that you need to learn more about. We'll have an opportunity to have that in your hands, hopefully real soon. We have Tim with the amazing and incredible Chronicle.io. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well for a late night where I am. But yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you staying late for us. As we start to learn more about everything you have going on with Chronicle, first want to learn more about you. Can you give us some background on yourself?
Yeah, so background on myself and I guess kind of how it relates to Chronicle and what we're looking to do is that I come kind of from a super fan background. Myself and some of the team members within Chronicle back in 2014 kind of, caught whim of this rumor that Universal Pictures confirmed, which was, hey, we're going to be doing another Jurassic Park film finally after like this long hiatus of 11, 12 years since the third one. And my friend Jack and I basically got together and created this sort of in-world digital experience for fans around the world to connect. And we just put it online live and didn't really say, who was behind it. We just mocked something up and put this thing live. Before we knew it, kind of the Jurassic community sort of found it online. Twitter started to explode. And at this point, every single sort of entertainment news outlet was kind of hungry for any kind of news drop that they could get about this new and upcoming movie. Everyone was trying to find out, who was going to be in it, what the plot details were going to be. And so some of the media outlets got hold of this website and sort of thought it was the real deal from Universal Pictures. And before you knew it, Universal actually had formally reached out to us because Colin Trevorrow, the film director, saw it and really liked it. And so, kind of went from this sort of geeky fan moment to creating this website which ties in all of the film canon, if you like. And yeah, went from that to actually being sort of part of a much larger project in an official capacity with Universal. So they flew us out to LA, got to meet the team, and basically our position at this point was to represent the fans by creating a digital sort of interactive, immersive experience for the marketing of the movie. We did that in 2014, 2015. Obviously everyone knows how successful Jurassic World ended up being, and sort of, extremely successful. And I mean, to be fair, I think it kind of exceeded the studio's expectations as well. And straight away, they pretty much announced 2 more sequels. And one of them, the second one that we worked on as well, which was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And for that, we basically, again, got a team together and created sort of this digital interactive storytelling experience behind Claire Deering's Dinosaur Protection Group, if anyone's familiar with the movie. So basically, we did this whole Save the Dinosaurs campaign online. So that was really exciting. And, in between those years as well, we did a lot of sort of consulting work with Universal as well. Anything from the Lego series to the toy series, merchandise, just basically, they had a lot of ideas and they just wanted some feedback on. So it's kind of in this context of things, having done a lot of work with a major film studio before on a much beloved brand, with this mega franchise that we're like, well, why not sort of apply this to other brands and other franchises and represent fandoms with digital collectibles in kind of the NFT world. And that's kind of the basis behind the formation of Chronicle.
Wow. So robust background, getting to work with Jurassic World, create these immersive experiences. And, it's so timely with just everything that's going on with the metaverse and with Facebook's big push to now going to that, and with everything going on with the NFT space. It sounds like you're very well positioned to be able to really take care and to build upon what is becoming the new reality for the internet. So really quickly, just can you give us a quick background of like, how did you even learn about the crypto blockchain space? And then like, once you found out about it, how did that kind of shift the immersive experiences that you're providing for like Universal into now more of this crypto landscape?
Yeah, so it's all about timing, kind of, I guess. So I actually got into crypto in the 2017 bull run. I got into it in September, and if ever anyone remembers that period, that was a really interesting period because I think the week I got into crypto was when the China FUD came, and so I think Bitcoin went down and then we went back up, and I got into it then, and I think purely at that point it was kind of like how everyone gets into it. You see stuff online, you hear chatter, and you kind of dive into it, and then all of the learning about the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper and all of that stuff kind of comes later, and you catch up and do all of that. So certainly been around the space since 2017, late 2017, and I've been absolutely obsessed ever since. I think this is kind of like the new evolution, I guess, of where technology is heading, and we really felt like there's a big opportunity here with digital collectibles, not just what they can do for fans, but what they can do for brands as well.
Definitely. And being in the space for 4 years and being able to see both a first bull market, then a bear market, and then back into another bull. We talk about timing. We talk about how different things were kind of being built over the course of those 4 years. And one of the big topics right now are NFTs. And another large topic at hand is mass adoption. Like how, even though people are now aware of crypto, are aware of NFTs, all this stuff, most people still aren't involved. Most of the world is not involved in the world of cryptocurrency because it's not very easy to get on board. But I know that Chronicle is directly trying to help solve that. Can you kind of explain what it is and how you're going about to solve that challenge?
100%. So what was quite interesting with Chronicle and probably how it differs to a lot of other projects is that early this year when we kind of had this idea about tying in our experience with the world of digital collectibles and NFTs, one of the first things that we did was we actually had a chat with some of the studios over in Los Angeles, and we're like, hey, getting a bit of intel. Are you looking at this space? Which they were. I think everyone was at the point when Beatles art piece sold for 69 million. And what do you want to see in the ideal partner? What kind of features or of a partner platform would you be interested in seeing? And so some of the feedback we were getting was we want stuff that represents the fans, kind of can be accessed by people outside crypto, don't need to understand what Ethereum is or get registered on an exchange or have to handle like a MetaMask wallet, like something is a little bit more sort of controlled, centralized, and something that's really easy. Like we're talking, our parents level easy, trying to get them involved in it. And so we basically took that feedback and said, okay, well, this is what Chronicle is going to be. And so we're basically on a mission to create, the world's easiest NFT platform. Chronicle is targeted both towards crypto users, but mainly towards the people that are like, what's an NFT? Or how do I get my first NFT? We want Chronicle to be for them. And so things like email address sign up or one-click registration with your Google account, purchasing a digital collectible with a credit card, having all of your digital collectibles managed for you in a wallet by Chronicle. These are kind of things that we've been looking to create first. And then slowly, as we're kind of onboarding, millions of fans around the world through the brands that we're partnering with, hopefully, we'll be sort of looking at other ways to sort of bring up sort of the crypto adoption. So things like, being able to purchase a collectible with crypto as well. And those kind of initiatives.
Yeah, I want to unpack that just a few more steps, simply because for most people who are listening to the show, you're very aware of what it takes to get an NFT right now, especially through most landscapes. You go onto a certain platform, you typically get ETH, you then send it to some sort of wallet, whether it's MetaMask or something else. You then go to a place like an OpenSea or Rarible, et cetera, and then you can make your purchases from there. It's it's a lot of steps. It's not extremely easy for a crypto novice or someone that's brand new just trying to get into the space. But there's a couple of things that you brought up that immediately sparked my interest of. So you're telling me you can basically sign up online using an email address. You can still put up a credit card, and now you can still have access to buying these NFTs, having it being stored on the native wallet as well. Kind of walk me through, let's say for both your brand new person coming into the space and then for your crypto OGs who are like, well, do I own those keys? Like, how do I then send that NFT other places, et cetera? Can you kind of walk me through that?
That's right. So Chronicle, just to be very clear and transparent as well, Chronicle from the outset is a centralized platform. And so users won't be able to send their NFT outside of Chronicle, but then that's kind of consistent with a lot of other similar like-minded platforms like Quid or Phoebe and some of the other players in that space. And for those that are wondering, why is that the case? That feature is actually what gets us in with the brands in the first place. The brands want that feature because they want to ensure basically that their collectibles are sort of being traded in an ecosystem whereby they can kind of continue to collect royalties on secondary sales. They're also very interested in being able to sort of have an idea of who's interested in their brand, who's interested in their collectibles as well, and so those kind of opportunities emerge. So basically. For those that aren't aware, we use the NEAR protocol as our blockchain for the collectibles. The NEAR protocol have built a Ethereum virtual machine called Aurora, and that's specifically what we're using. And the choice for that blockchain, aside from the obvious lower gas fees compared to Ethereum network, is that basically their blockchain is carbon neutral. And that becomes a very important conversation, actually, when we introduce Chronicle to a lot of the brands. One of the very first conversations gets brought up is sort of, about the sort of energy usage of blockchains. And, that's been very kind of, there's been a lot of PR around that, I guess, through the rise of NFTs and us just sort of having that slide in our deck saying, hey, we're actually using NEAR protocol and we're on a carbon neutral network and we're, looking at sustainable and eco-friendly ways, to basically go about our technology and business, which we are, that sort of makes for some very good conversations, I think, with a lot of the brands, which is great. I'm happy to talk about that as well. So just so those that are listening in kind of get a picture of what happens on Chronicle when you buy an NFT. So when we team up with the brand and our art department creates the collectible and we get all of the approvals with the brand, we basically set a date and put the collectible into the Chronicle store where we're setting variables like, how many mintings of this collectible will there be? Will it be a rare or a common card or an epic or a legendary? And what will the price point be? At that point, though, they're actually not minted onto the blockchain yet. We've kind of created Chronicle in a way that when the user is at the purchase point and they've purchased the collectible, it actually gets minted in front of them on the screen and actually gets written onto the blockchain at that point. So pretty interesting from a user experience, sort of getting to see that little pop up and animation and see it all happening. That's basically how it's done.
Got it. And thank you for making that this distinction. So this is more centralized platform, which helps with asking for the usability and quick onboarding and some of what some larger brands potentially have been looking for. So I know that you have been working on quite a few things to help get this out to the market. I believe there are a couple of announcements that are coming into place as well, as far as users being able to see it on their phone in a couple different ways. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, definitely, Richard. So initially, very early on, I think we recognized that, greater than 50% of the audience and the traffic that was coming to Chronicle were coming from mobile phones. And that was actually very exciting for us because we just basically thought, wow, creating an easy to use platform like Chronicle, one thing, but then the idea of sort of people being able to have collectibles in their pocket, basically with a smartphone, we thought the opportunity was even grander at that point. And so we kind of made it a bit of a focus in the last few weeks alone to get the Chronicle application web mobile ready, which basically means that on your smartphone device using whatever you use, Safari or Chrome. You'll be able to access the Chronicle platform and use it with all the same features as you would on your desktop computer. Sounds easy, but it does take a while to get something as complicated as Chronicle kind of ready for smartphones. So that's actually dropping on Monday, November the 1st. So I believe by the time everyone's hearing this, it should have been out for a few weeks. The other thing, which is a massive win for us, and this is kind of exclusive, I guess you're hearing it first, here is that, about an hour ago, we were also approved on the Google Play Store, which was just a massive, massive win for Chronicle. So, again, being able to get a app into the hands of users that, they can have, again, they can register, they can log in, they can purchase their collectibles, they can house their collectibles, all in an app on their smartphone. It's just a really good win for us and for the brands.
No doubt. Congratulations on that. That is big news. Having experience in the app startup world, getting approved on any major store, Apple, Google, what have you, challenge. So congrats on that.
Time-consuming process, yeah.
Yes, very, very much so. And having more ways that people can immediately, or you can get to your target audience, especially realizing where they're coming from, not so much desktop computers, but from their phones, going to be very powerful. So I'm excited to see what the growth is going to be like and how people pick this up and start using this. As you kind of take a step back and look at everything that has happened in 2021, being as bullish of a year as it's been in the crypto, blockchain, NFT, DeFi, everything space, what do you think is going to be one of the larger opportunities in this space that not necessarily a lot of people are paying attention to?
Yeah, so my gut feeling is that a lot of the technology that we're seeing, I think we all agree that things like Bitcoin are here to stay long term. Bitcoin's been legitimized this year in the sense of governments are taking interest and ETFs are being approved and whatnot. I kind of and again, we're looking at what Facebook's doing with Meta and the rise of the metaverses and whatnot, and digital collectibles and NFTs. I kind of am hoping that the direction that we're going to go in is some kind of a uniform standard, I guess, for interoperability. I kind of am hoping that's the way that we'll go, and I hope that Chronicle will be a part of that, if not help to lead it. Kind of get the sense that that's going to be the big thing. And yes, I think that the metaverses, I think that they are here to stay. I think just looking at how successful something like Roblox is right now is pretty insane. And you look at that generation, they're growing up with the metaverse. I kind of think that generation's ahead of us in some aspects. So certainly interoperability, the being able to connect different metaverses, different wallets, Realm connecting to Decentraland and those kind of opportunities. That for me is mind blowing. And if we can achieve that, I think that's, I'm very excited for the future.
I agree. I think, the numbers speak for themselves. Ever since the Facebook announcement of their move to focus on metaverses, all metaverse crypto projects have been exploding. Decentraland is up, I think, 150% in the last 48 hours, which is insane. And a bunch of the other projects like Roblox and a newer project called Blocktopia, a bunch of them are surging right now. And it's because people recognize that that's the future and kind of what we're headed towards. So thank you for putting that on everyone's horizon. But, a couple other things that I just want to ask, I like to ask all of our speakers who come on with all the information that you have right now. And you go back to yourself when you first got started in the crypto blockchain space, which one or two pieces of advice that you'd give yourself as you would kind of go and first learn about everything that's going on within the crypto blockchain world?
Ooh, okay, this is a fun question. First bits of advice: be patient. Definitely number one, be patient. I think crypto things move so fast that sometimes you think something's going to go up and it dips and a little bit and you panic, you sell and it rips up. And these kind of opportunities, just be patient and you can attribute that to hold, I guess. harder. But yeah, certainly don't rush things. I've learned to be very patient in this space. So that's definitely the first one. What's another one I can probably think of myself? If you don't understand something, don't go into it. I dabbled in things like leveraged markets, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that again. So just stick to what you're comfortable with. So first piece of advice, definitely be patient. Second piece of advice I would say is don't go into something that you don't quite understand yet. And I say that in reference to myself. Kind of got excited with leveraged markets and those kind of things. If you don't understand it, don't try it, because you might end up losing what you had to begin with, which was good. So definitely be patient and do your research a little bit. Would be probably the two biggest advices. But yeah, done all right this year, I think.
But you also just need the experience of trying things and learning from them. But to your point, be patient and don't just go all the way in if you don't fully understand it. It's fine to dabble and to test, but don't. You'll lose a lot of money that way if you don't necessarily do your research and understand what's going on. So, Tim, I definitely agree with that, and I appreciate that sentiment. But as we kind of wrap up here, man, what's a final thought that you want to leave with all the listeners here today?
Final thought. Look, for everyone listening out there, I hope if you've got sort of 5 or 10 minutes of spare time, do check out Chronicle. Platform's up and running now. I think we've done a collaboration with the CW television network in the US, where we've got some NFTs for Penn and Teller. And I think up until now, we still have a few for free, which you can claim if you go into chronicle.io. So that would be really cool if everyone can check us out. And if you like what you see, download the app on Google Play if you've got an Android device.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that. And I know you already dropped a couple of things just now, but what are ways that people can connect with you and just keep on learning more about Chronicle?
Yeah, definitely. Website, www.chronicle.io. We are on Twitter. We've got a pretty active Twitter as well. Just type Chronicle XML, you should find us. We're also active on Telegram as well. All the social networks, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We have relatively young social media accounts, but we're starting to get a bit more active there as well. We should be able to find us. We're quite vocal now.
Gotcha. Well, perfect. Well, again, Tim, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent.